All right, welcome back, folks. This is video 2. Thanks for taking the time out to watch these videos. I'm loving the feedback on the first video, which was 10 tips to have more energy now. If you didn't already watch that one, you should go back and do that right now, because that has been a favorite topic by far. Okay, the fact that you're here again just proves your commitment to your health. We all know about commitment phobes, and you might happen to be one. Well, the inability to commit and follow through to any health program or any upgrade is going to be a big showstopper for your health. It's not the knowledge that makes the results happen, we know this, but the daily follow through. So if you're here, then I know you're ready to take action, so let's dive right in. Here's the problem that I hear. I'm trying to be healthier, but I feel deprived. I hate counting calories. I'm not seeing physical results like weight loss. I'm still extremely stressed. And I know that something is imbalanced, but I don't know how to dig deeper. So this is what we're going to address today. Why these complaints are so common and what habits or mindset might be holding you back from making big changes in your health. Okay, here I am. The reason I'm talking about all these mistakes today is not just to make you feel bad about what you're doing, but instead because I have made them all and I know them well. So I'm showing you this picture so you can see me when I used to be on every fad diet out there. I used to follow the binging for a while and then I'd go on some kind of diet. And as you can see here, I was in the binging phase with all that lovely snacks in front of me. But this is a really common mistake in a way of living, and it's really exhausting and it's also harmful to your body to be going up and down that much. So this leads me to rookie mistake number 1, going on a diet. So I love this. I would offer you some, but you're on a diet. It's a lifestyle change, right? So I know we've heard this one before, but it really is true. Going on any kind of diet, instead of a diet, we want to go with the lifestyle change. So what does that mean? It means that it needs to be maintainable and enjoyable for the long term. We want to have upgrades on things that we'll be able to stick with and that we like. If it feels like it's deprivation, then this is going to lead to yo-yo dieting. And we all know that yo-yo dieting, the people end up weighing more in the long run because they've got that constant feeling of deprivation that leads them to reach for more and more junk instead of making just slow, steady lifestyle changes over time, things that you like, things that you can enjoy. It doesn't all have to be boring, healthy, things that you don't like. That leads me to number 2, rookie mistake, blindly following recommendations, which goes along with dieting. So without checking in with your body. So here we have this image, which I love, just one person following the other, walking right off the cliff. So maybe if the person on the end was a little redheaded girl, you could follow her, but no, just kidding. But really, so there's lots of diets out there. There's, there's vegan or there's paleo, and there's good things about all of them. So when you follow something like that, you want to make sure you're following something that's going to work for you because we all are different. We have a different blood type, ancestry, your environment is different, the time of year. So it's going to change all the time. So you can start with a plan like that, but then what we want to actually do is follow up and figure out, is this really working for me? So we're going to use what we love is a food diary. Keep a food diary for a week whenever you're starting a new plan. And the important part of it is, how do you feel 2 to 3 hours after a meal? So there's going to be an example in the download that's below this video, an example meal plan if you want to try one out for yourself. But this will help you really narrow down, how am I feeling after each meal? You might be following whatever diet or plan you're on to the T, but if you're feeling more tired or bloated or not having the energy you need for the afternoon after your meal, then that's a sign that it's not quite working for you. And another test, or like if you feel like you can't quite trust your instincts. We can also use the pulse test. I'm going to put the instructions in the download as well, but that's a way of eliminating a food for a while, and you can actually, when you put the food on your tongue and take your pulse, it will rise if you're having an immune response to that food. So ideally, we want to be able to listen to our body, but if we can't, there are some tools we can add in, like a pulse test, or you could always run an actual blood panel to see what foods you're having reactions to. But most of all, we really want to just learn to listen to our body, because so many of us have actually not been taught to do that portion of it. We were told, follow the Weight Watchers, follow it, do the points, do it as is, but we're not really told to check back in and say, is this working for us? All right, number 3 rookie mistake is the all or nothing mentality. So it's that, oh man, I just had chocolate cake and a martini and I've ruined my plan, I've ruined my diet, so whatever. I'm going to do whatever I want all weekend and I'll start being healthy next week. I know you know what I'm talking about. So instead, we want to try the 80-20 rule. So the 80-20 rule, I'm sure most of you have heard of this, but 80% of the time we want to be doing our absolute best and following what we know works for us, what we've figured so far. And then 20% of the time we want to be basically doing whatever we want and enjoying it. So we're going to learn to dip without diving. I learned this from Krista Recchio at The Whole Journey, where if you go down a little bit where your habits have slid, that's fine, that's a dip, but you don't want to keep going down and down and down till you hit rock bottom and then come up. We just want to make a little dip. So okay, so you had your cake. At your next meal, then you have something to help restore the nutrients that you were depleted of. Have a green juice, have a really good dinner, but don't throw away the whole day because you went off your plan or did something unhealthy or ate something unhealthy. And on that same note, you really want to make sure when you do something unhealthy that you're enjoying it. Enjoy it and move on, get over it. So guilt is not going to help you at all. It's actually going to harm you because the stress associated with guilt can increase your cortisol, mess with your hormones, and can actually lead to leaky gut as well. There's a link between brain stress and the gut. So it's important to enjoy it and then move on. Number 4 rookie mistake is expecting overnight results. I like to call this the scale problem. I would love for everyone to just throw their scales out altogether, but since that's probably not going to happen, it's that doing something the day before, getting on the scale in the morning, and then kind of having that be your gauge of whether what you did was okay. So I ate 3 cheeseburgers and a shake yesterday, and I got on the scale and I didn't gain any weight, so I'm good to go. Or I've been working out and eating really healthy and get on the scale the next day and maybe it even went up or didn't move, and then deciding that what you're doing is not working. So the whole, I tried that, it didn't work. If you gave it a good solid 3-month try and you see nothing, then maybe it's time to switch up your plan. But you really want to, instead of having that overnight thinking, you want to realize that things like hormone balance and restoring adrenal dysfunction, that can take anywhere from 6 months up to 2 years, depending on the state of your dysfunction. And for example, 3 months it would be a good amount of time to try a supplement protocol before we would retest with functional lab work. So we're talking about a good amount of time here. Gut healing, for example, it's a really slow process. That could be a year, is not unheard of at all. And removing foods for sensitivities, you want to remove them for 3 to 6 months. So if you're giving it a chance, you need to know it's a really slow process and let your body is actually changing at a cellular level over time. So just because you don't see it yet, if you're making really healthy choices, know that it's shifting on the inside. Okay, number 5 rookie mistake is forgetting about your environment. So we don't want to forget about what you're putting on your body, in your house, and on your car. So I had someone say, on your car, isn't that a little bit extreme? And yeah, it is, but the thought being anything you're purchasing or buying or using, let's say you wash your car, it's actually physically washing the soap off into the soil. So where does our food and our water come from? That soil is really important. So if you're using chemicals that really don't need to be produced, or if you're supporting a company that's using huge versions, right, a lot of these chemicals, then that's a lot of waste that's going somewhere, right? So we want to consider who we're supporting as companies, and then obviously what we're physically putting on our body. So we want to go with the non-toxic instead, because an average woman puts 100 chemicals on her skin before leaving the house in the morning. This is crazy, I know, but with all the makeup and skincare, etc. So we want to try a non-toxic product, such as, I know you probably, everyone here knows I love Fat Face skincare. I'll put a link in the download if you want to try it out. And if you have a lot of time on your hands and you want to try to do it yourself, there's tons of do-it-yourself recipes on the internet. You can make almost anything. Lotions, you're just using basic things like coconut oil and essential oils, things that aren't going to hurt you, because anything you put on your skin is in your bloodstream within 26 seconds, and then they're not going to hurt the earth, they're not going to get in our water and our food. So same thing with any cleaners. Easy do-it-yourself recipes online to create almost any cleaner with vinegar, water, baking soda, essential oils. So I'll put a link in the download as well to some recipes, and also a link for essential oils if you don't already know where to get those. Number 6, ignoring stress. So ignoring mental and emotional stressors. This is really common. It's kind of that whole corporate situation where working 12 hours days is a badge of honor, but really we want to make sure we're not ignoring stress. Stress is actually the most common cause of poor health and estimated reason for 70% of all visits to the family doctor. That's a lot. Finding stress management techniques that work for you. Maybe you don't like yoga, but yoga, meditation, deep breathing, exercise, reading, it could be anything. It could be getting together with friends. Anything you know relaxes you and calms you down. And it's really important to actually schedule this in your calendar, schedule your downtime, and you'll end up being more productive, which is why we're trying to get the corporate world on board with this as well. Because if you force somebody to do a 12-hour day, they're most likely going to be making mistakes and still only get in 7 quality hours anyway. So we want to take care of ourselves and schedule that time in. All right, number 7 is hidden stressors. So hidden stands for hormone, immune, digestion, detoxification, environmental, and neurotransmitters. So these are things we know about the mental emotional stressors, but do you know what's stressing your body out on the inside? Things that you can't see and you might not even know are there. So we want to make sure you're digging deeper. If you're, for example, know you have candida and decide to follow a candida protocol or diet, cleanse, and it's just not going away. So something that could be happening is you might have heavy metals and the candida is protecting you from that, or you could have parasites and the candida is feeding off of that, or you might have a detoxification problem. So if you don't get to the root of that problem, you can do the candida diet all day long and it will not go away because you're not looking at the whole picture. So we like to use, this is what we use, functional lab work to find each of these areas and make sure that you're fully supporting your body in a whole picture and not just picking and choosing a diet depending on what you think might be going on. All right, what's next? That's the end of today's training, and up next will be part 3, which is top tools for daily detox. Watch out in your inbox, it's coming in the next few days. I'm so glad to have you all here. Thanks for joining us. Please contact me with any questions or comments. You can go to the website, gingernutrition.com. You can email me, megan@gingernutrition.com, or we'd love to have you follow us on Facebook. That's a great way to stay connected. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.